Gentlemen, good to see you.
Good morning. Good morning.
Dylan, this is the second year running.
Yes.
For Laugh in Your Own Language. How did it go last year?
It went fantastic. So at Comedy Central, we were trying to figure out how do we represent the entire country as much as we can, all the different languages and diversity that we have.
Yeah.
So we started it last year, and it was a huge success. We brought it back this year with our partner Orbit, trying to give everyone an opportunity for a time to shine. And it's been a resounding success. It's been really good. We love to give the opportunity for the comedians to be able to showcase their talents, and having someone like Mashabella on board as well is amazing, and we're super excited about the show tonight at the Goliath Comedy Club. Okay,
so this is how it works. You've got different days. Starting 2 days ago, we had Afrikaans and then English, and then tonight will be the vernacular session.
Absolutely, yeah. So what we try to do is try to cater to different audiences on different nights, and we did the Afrikaans night, as you mentioned. It was headlined by Joey Rasdeen. Yesterday it was Neil Green for the English language night, and tonight it's going to be Mashabella with Tumi Morake for the vernacular night.
Just the two of you?
No, and Mududuzi, Elliot, and Muzi.
Okay, do you find this concept works?
Yeah, because Darren knows I always complain about Comedy Central that they don't really focus more on the vernac comedy.
Yeah.
So I think this is a good platform for vernac.
Okay. Yeah. Now, but when you look at vernac and you're talking we're in South Africa, wouldn't they just be focusing on South African vernac for a TV channel like Comedy Central, which beams out all over the continent?
Yeah, if they want numbers, the only way if they really want numbers, the only way to go about it is to push more vernac, because as black people, we're the majority.
Yeah. Do you find that it's growing though, comedy stand-up in vernac in South Africa?
It's big now. Yeah, especially I'm talking about the attendance of. I was talking to him earlier on in terms of the venues that we normally do. I told them that venue is actually too small for me. I normally do big venues like Carnival City, Top Arena. So because we've got numbers, especially when coming to support of vernac comedy. Yeah, it's a big movement now.
But how free can you be when you with your jokes in vernac? Because sometimes are we still sensitive as African people in terms of some of the comedy that's coming out can be, some people can take it as an insult.
Yeah, it is. It's a big challenge, especially. For example, the other TV channel which cater for public broadcaster.
The other TV channel.
I tried to do stand-up there. It doesn't work in terms of their rules and regulations, because everything that you say, they censor it. You can't talk about women. You can't talk about religion. You can't talk about anything. Because our culture does not allow us to talk about what we are talking about as comedian on stage. Because some people, they find it offensive, and some people, they think it's taboo to actually talk about what we are talking about on stage. But
now, besides the other TV channel, with 3 TV channels.
And this one.
And this, this one, no, we're fine. We're okay. We are up free speech. On ENC. But seriously, have you had problems on stage where maybe people took something? Let's say you're, making a joke about, about Venda, for instance, and somebody stood up and said, hey, no, this is too personal. Has that ever happened?
People are very sensitive, and the moment you start joking about them, they think you're a tribalist. So, but I've passed that stage where I do jokes about tribes. But the biggest challenge that I had, someone has once thrown a glass at me while I was performing. Some woman once slapped me, because I normally talk about what I see. I improvise a lot. I don't normally perform on stage. I go straight to the audience. So they once slapped me. They took it very personal, and it was an old woman. For me, get a blessing. Blessing.
All right.
The price you pay for your art.
I know. But you're very brave to actually go into the crowd as well. But Dylan, looking at comedy in South Africa, Comedy Central as well, just not in South Africa, on the continent, are you guys growing comedy? Are you supporting it enough? Because that is the channel for comedy, is it not?
No, absolutely. Our imperative is to support the narrative in Africa. It's to support the comedy scene in Africa. I think there's a lot more that we can do. Honestly, we want to push ourselves as much as we can by having conversations with people like Mashabella who are saying, you're not doing enough vernac. And then, you know, we have to lean into that space and say, you're absolutely right, what can we do more? How can we highlight the talent more? We've done things like Comedy Search in Nigeria for Grab the Mic, which was done 12 months ago. We're doing this initiative as well. So we like to be challenged. We like for the fraternity to say you should be doing more, and we rise to that challenge. And you know, things like Laugh in Your Language or Roast Battle or The Roast, all of these are different platforms we can showcase our talent and give them a time to shine.
Mashabela, you wanted to say something. I know you want to say something about that question I just asked Dylan.
No, because I'm always on that case. So Dylan, you are not pushing Veneke. I always see African comedy on Comedy Central. What about us? We can afford the premium package. Just black people can watch Comedy Central if you give them content. The reason they are not watching it is because there's nothing that they can relate to. But if they put more content for Veneke, they'll get numbers. Yeah,
okay,
I'm here because they want numbers.
You're here because they want this. The black numbers buying more of those decoders is what you're talking about. Okay, let's talk about gender in South African comedy. Are there more females coming on board? Are you guys letting more female comedians come onto the stage?
They are emerging female comedians, not a lot though. Yeah. I don't know why, because Mam Pincha is busy abusing them. That's why we don't have female comedians. I don't know why.
You don't know why?
Yeah. I think that what we're finding is the scene is growing. So where it started off, 10, 15 years ago, and there were a select few, the comedy scene is growing. I think it's a great story that we've got our talent going overseas. You may know of this guy called Trevor Noah, who's done kind of well. A small comedian who's just gone over to the US and hosts a show over there. And it indicates how big our comedy scene is starting to grow. The vernac scene is growing. You're seeing a lot more talent coming through behind some of the kind of more legendary comedians like Tumi Morake. You've got more and more kind of people wanting to come into this space. It's a great space to do stand-up comedy. It allows you to be able to touch on so many different topics and discussion points. And make people laugh. I mean, that's an amazing thing to be able to do.
Yeah, very true.
And the reason we don't have young women coming up, I think they're focusing on slaying, because it's better to be a slave queen than to be a comedian. You can go to Dubai just like that as being a slave queen than being a comedian.
I think the comedy show started early.
I think it started early. I'm not going to comment on that because I love my life. All right, guys, thank you so much. So tonight will be the Vernac session. It's taking place at the Goliath Comedy Club at Melrose Arch. That's correct?
For sure.
Yeah.
All right, good luck.
We'll see you there, Tony.
Yeah, I'll be there with my slave queen.